Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the NASCAR Melling series. Let me adjust this real quick. Whoop. Last time out was Homestead, and Amy Schumer won that in the last lap pass on Tim Foster. Whoops. Whoopsies. There we go. Now, this time out, we're at a completely different track. We're at South Boston Speedway. I know we said Iowa, but like I explained in the truck race, they swapped spots on the schedule last minute. A lot of new paints here. In today's race, the Bob and Tom 250. This track, of course, has been home to many famous NASCAR drivers over the years, like Jeff Burton, Harrison Burton, Walt Burton, and his son Jeb Burton. But let's get to our starting lineup. Logan Cloud with a front row start, putting gloves in the spotlight, as he'll start alongside our pole sitter Franklin Clinton, who debuts the BB&T colors. Jack Nicholson will start next to Rod Stewart in a Conway Freight sponsored car that may or may not have run last week. Then Ferris Bueller in the Energizer 41 this week next to Sir Topham Hatt. Dylan Jacobs, a.k.a. Kamikaze Games, will start next to Wario. And then Ann Wilson rounds out the top 10 along with Eddie Money, who debuts Comcast colors. There's last week's winners, Amy Schumer, and she rewards Arby's for their sponsorship by not having them on the hood this week. It's Valvoline. As well as Knuckles Echidna, who debuts the Bass Pro Shops colors. Then John Cleese in an Army scheme this week will line up next to Robbie Krieger. Marty McFly with Target colors will be next to Sylvester Stallone. Then Ringo in the Camping World number 10. This time will be next to Emerald. Then Ward Gordon. Not to be confused with Ward Button or Robbie Gordon. We'll start next to Bob Seger. We get to the second half of the field. Yes. Bob Dylan will line up next to Leonard McCoy. Leonard McCoy, Bones, is debuting the Janiking colors this week. Then John Goodman will line up next to Stephen King, who is in the orange-colored yellow transportation car this week, which is very misleading because you're not yellow, you're orange. Mitch Hedberg continues his quest for Rookie of the Year. He's in the Hardee's Charbroiled Thick Burgers number 21 Chevrolet, alongside Patrick Starr, who will drive the Net Zero scheme. I don't even know if Net Zero is still a thing, but let's pretend they are. And then Jim Kirk, Captain Kirk, will start next to Stephen Hawking, who brings back some familiar Lowe's colors, at least to the front. It looks a little bit different from the side. Rounding out the top 30 will be the Fonz and Anthony Perkins. Alan Rickman is next to Wee Man, who's in the Dish Network colors. David Land will be next to Starlight Glimmer. Then Sammy Hagar with the Burnin' Boilers 55 will start next to Tim Foster. Then Haywood Banks in a Holiday Inn scheme will be next to Pete Townsend. Rounding out the field will be Benedict Cumberbatch with Planet Hollywood sponsorship, and Amelia Earhart with the red-colored Civil Air Patrol car. So, as you can see, a lot of different schemes for the drivers. There's 3 cars who don't plan to run any different schemes. Starlight Glimmer is going to be the same car. Robbie Krieger, and then probably Sir Topham Hatt. But we're about to get to command of fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Now, everybody else who you haven't seen with a different scheme either debuted it last week or will debut it later on in the year. By later on, I could mean as soon as next week, which next week will be a little bit bigger. This is 4/10 of a mile. We're going to add just a little bit over another tenth. But we're going to add a ton more banking, keep the basic shape and the basic lap times. We're going to Bristol. The warm-up race for the TVA 500. 40 cars getting set here for 100 laps around here. This is the Bob and Tom 250. And Franklin Clinton and Logan Cloud see the green flag. We're out racing. Cloud trying to get a big jump on the outside on Franklin Clinton, but Clinton hangs just strong enough here on the first lap. Franklin Clinton comes out of turn 4, will lead the first lap here at South Boston Speedway. Now Jack Nicholson already jumping to the inside. Trying to get to the second place as Franklin Clinton is able to deal with that for the time being, able to extend his lead a little bit out to just over a half a second. Now Nicholson is clear. Cloud will slide in the third if he doesn't get taken. Wario does not jump underneath. Now these two have history, not like a rivalry or history, but Wario ended up winning a race at Iowa last year that Cloud dominated on fuel mileage. And now Wario is going to take the third spot away from Logan Cloud, who hardly got time to breathe there on the bottom. Now Jack Nicholson is blown into the lead. Franklin Clinton, your pole sitter, only held on to the lead for the first 4 laps. And we already have a lead change. And that already, Franklin Clinton under fire from Wario. Wario, of course, was driving the number 16 Chevy for Knight Enterprises the last 2 seasons. But now he has joined JTG Dotrieve Racing. Now there are other drivers. Ann Wilson's was scored in 23rd at the line. Oh god, they're 3 wide, and I don't know where Pete Townsend is actually. He's probably in a different scheme this week. That's why I missed him. Cloud already getting taken for 5th is now Franklin Clinton will take the lead back. Nicholson could only lead for 4 laps of his own. Oh, and Haywood Banks already down pit road. Heartbreak, I guess. Something off. I guess there was a vibration or cut the tire. There's Pete Townsend in the STP scheme. Logan Cloud now is shuffled out in the 5th. But now has got at least some breathing room so he can run normal laps. Like a normal human being should. Haywood Banks dropping the last because of this. Wario up to 2nd. Jack Nicholson under fire now from John Cleese. Cleese, ironically, sponsored by the U.S. Army. I say is ironic because he is, of course, from Britain, a member of the famed Monty Python's Flying Circus comedy troupe. Now, surprisingly, Haywood Banks is only 2 laps down. I guess it's not. And he was already towards the back of the pack. Shows you. And he's right at the rear end. Did he drive down this pack at all? No, he just got out of pit road at like the perfect time. Tim Fost. Now, back up at front after 15 laps. Or drag race to the line for the lead. And they give it to Wario. Number 22. We didn't see any lead changes the first 50 laps of yesterday's race, and now already not even 20 laps in, and we've already seen 3 lane changes, topping the 2 from yesterday. Fastest car on track at the fastest lap has been set by your pole sitter Franklin Clinton in the BB&T 2. Logan Cloud up to 4th now. Oh, because Jack Nicholson keeps fading. Now there's a battle for 5th going on between Eddie Money and Patrick Starr. Yeah, I'm guessing this is where the Double O team from last year is. I'm guessing they kind of merged in that trick. There's Wario. Now, AutoZone sponsorship. Now, he has not debuted his scheme. You know, now we get to the back and we find Ann Wilson and Sammy Hagar fighting for 38th, actually. Look at this. Haywood Banks in 40th has already passed guys who would be in. He's being into. I keep thinking. I thought it was Stephen King at first was the lap car for some reason. Now, John Cleese has driven down the 2. The 2 trying to hold off the 4. The 94 now getting chased by the 39. John Goodman slides almost to the inside, not quite, of Logan Cloud there. Cloud's going to have to arc it in aggressively to keep the spot, and that's kind of what he does, but a little bit conservative. I don't know what I'm talking about. And Cleese has got a bumper underneath as we are a quarter of the way through this race. Not Cleese, Goodman. What's very interesting is you can see that is the Intrepid model that Cloud is using on his 94. Whereas that's the Charger model that has been allocated for John Goodman. I think that's gotta be. Yeah, that's the Charger model. And you saw Pete Townsend is now pitted, and he is now in last place. Interesting pit strategy going on here in today's event. Almost it's Scott Wimmer. No, that's Haywood Banks who was last. Oh, I gotta get used to these new schemes that are showing up. I'm still not used to AutoZone being on Wario's car, okay? Speaking of Wario, I think he's led the most laps at this stage in the race. Amy Schumer not looking too hot after last week. Tim Foster slowly making his way through the field. Logan Cloud has fallen to 6th place. He got taken by Patrick Starr, almost a Jack Sprague. When's the last time Jack Sprague had raced in the NASCAR event? There's Leonard McCoy alongside Bob Dylan and Bob Seeger. 2 of the 5 Rush Fender racing cars. The only 2 doing really good today. Oh my god, the other... Because Jason Acuna's in 27th. Oh god. Yeah, Amy Schumer's in 37th. Rod Stewart's in 38th. Now John Goodman to the 3rd spot. Patrick Starr looking for 4th. Logan Cloud back to 7th. Ferris Bueller, who is not having an off day. Has made it up to 6th. Now Cloud trying to hold off the musicians named Bob, a pair of them that drive for Rush Fender Racing. But Bob Dylan to the inside. Now Cloud's got to do something. I think his car is running a little on the tight side. Now at the front of the pack, Franklin Clinton looking to take the lead for the 3rd time today. Coming off of 3 and 4, Franklin Clinton is out in front by over a car length. Now Wario trying to get to the inside. Cannot do it before Patrick Starr gets the 2nd. Won't be able to do it before John Goodman the 3rd. Will he though? Maybe. Ferris Bueller sitting in 5th watching this unfold. Bob Dylan now up to 6th. John Cleese has dropped back 7th as Logan Cloud just rides around in the 8th spot. What's the 18th spot? No, the 18th. It belongs to Tim Foster. Tibbing. The tip of the Foster. And Franklin Clinton. Under fire from Patrick Starr here around the midway point of the Bob and Tom 250 here at South Boston Speedway. As you can see now, starting to pull out a little bit of a lead. Now the 14 has the 2nd fastest lap. Now that's the real question. When are we going to catch the lappers? Well, that's hard to tell. But there's Benedict Cumberbatch, who technically is already... No, he's not. I'm thinking now is Pete Townsend was the 2nd guy to pit. I was thinking that was Pete Townsend. No, Pete Townsend has worked his way up to here. Where's not Wimmer, but Haywood Banks would be running for 16th if he was on the lead lap. So I think fresh tires do play a little bit of a factor here. Patrick Starr now. We zero in on the halfway mark. Lapped traffic just 2 seconds up the road. It's Benedict Cumberbatch has been towards the back all race. He started dead last. I think that was dead last in this Planet Hollywood number 18 Pontiac. Trying to visualize the car that would have started. It was inside, and I'm drawing a blank. It was Amelia Earhart, that's right. Halfway through this race, Franklin Clinton is your leader. Starlight Glimmer having a rough race. Not the season she needs. Not with a whole boatload of prospects now existing in the truck series for Logan Cloud to move into this 98 ride next season, should Starlight Glimmer not perform. Ooh, almost 3 wide to a fault. One driver whose scheme we haven't seen change yet is Bob Seeger. Last time he drove something other than the Sitco number 9, it was Mesa Marin right towards the end of the... No, it wasn't. Didn't show up at Mesa Marin. It would have been even sooner. Memphis, I think. For those 12 races in 2018 that he drove this 9 car, he was in, I want to say Stanley was the sponsor, and Sitco sponsored the 15 races that Geddy Lee drove down in the series. Now a lead change. Patrick Starr, your leader, took the lead at the end of lap 55. And now is just a couple of car lengths off the back bumper of James Tiberius Kirk. Kirk running in 38th, trying to get around Kamikaze Games in that 81. Kirk down to the inside. Jacobs forced to swing wide to give room for the driver of the 32 and falls in line. Ferris Bueller the second now. Franklin Clinton back to third. Bob Dylan all the way up to fourth. Wario up to fifth now. Ward Gordon! When did he get up here? Ward Gordon in sixth. John Cleese seventh. Logan Cloud eighth. John Goodman ninth. And Leonard McCoy in the 10th. In the lapped car of Haywood Banks running in what would be the 12th spot as Logan Cloud walks it way wide. McCoy underneath Goodman. Some drivers have really faded. Bob Seeger did not. Yeah, he did fade a little bit. Who else faded? Jack Nicholson running in the 18th slot. Wow, what is going on here? It was a log jam of the century. Benedict Cumberbatch up to 31st. And Patrick Starr making his first attempt to get around a lapped car. Sticking his nose underneath the 25 of Anthony Perkins. And he's got to get through these lapped cars quickly because just right behind him is Ferris Bueller in the 41. Starr clears Perkins off the corner. Off of turn 2, now off of turn 4. Ferris Bueller does the same. As we now have 35 laps to go in the Bob and Tom 250. Anthony Perkins, now he's kind of racing. Second place driver. He wants to be the first car a lap down in case a caution comes out. He'll have the easiest time trying to get back on the lead lap. Ward Gordon up to fourth now. Oh, pit stops have happened. No wonder why. Anybody already in? Logan Cloud pitted. So did Franklin Clinton and Wario pitted the first time by. Now at the line, it will be Leonard McCoy. No, not your race leader. Your race leader was Patrick Starr. Now everybody who didn't already come down is coming down. South Boston's not exactly the most spacious of pit roads. Oh, contact between Tim Foster and Jack Nicholson. Also looks like between Sir Topham Hatt and Alan Rickman. We sling on to Franklin Clinton, who has now gotten jumped. No, he didn't get jumped. He's a lap ahead of Bates, but regardless. Ooh, them stack up. You can see Wee Man took a heavy hit. What happened? What happened, boy? Oh, looks like here we go. Oh! Oh, Lord! We had an accident in the pits. Stephen King and Wee Man. Dan, this shakes up the running order completely. Your leader now is Bob Dylan in a swath of lap traffic. Robbie Krieger now at the moment. No, he wasn't. Because of this, it sorts out the 29 and the 59 as the back on the running order for the time being. But can they make it on fuel is the thing. Bob Dylan, your leader now. Trying to put a lap on what would be 34th place, Amy Schumer. Wario in second. Ferris Bueller underneath Franklin Clinton the third. Logan Cloud now in the fourth. No, in the fifth. He's in the fifth. Patrick Starr sixth. Leonard McCoy seventh. John Cleese eighth. Ward Gordon ninth. John Goodman 10th. And because of all this, Haywood Banks has ended up at the moment in the 13th spot. I don't know if he could make it. Who might be able to make it, though, is Pete Townsend, and he's up in the top 20. So some interesting pit strategy going on here. As now Bob Dylan got caught out by lap traffic. Wario to the lead. At the line, there will be 23 laps to go as Wario gets underneath the 32. Top four cars. Oh, lap traffic catching out Logan Cloud with the top four cars. Well, 2 through 4 are all racing for position. Wario has 22 laps to try and hold on. As long as he's got a lap car buffer, then he is completely safe. And I, announcer WesternCaves, think, oh, never mind. You don't need to know that. What you do need to know is Wario is got to get around his teammate, Ann Wilson, and is struggling a little. But now cleared, and a 2-car lap buffer with 19 to go between him and second place Ferris Bueller. Bueller he did win once, actually, I think. All the way back in that aforementioned Memphis race. And through all this, Logan Cloud back up to the 6th spot. He's going to lose it because he swings wide to avoid his idol Ringo Starr. What am I talking about? Now, Haywood Banks, remember that brilliant strategy? Well, he got caught up on the outside line, and now he's back to whatever spot he's in. 30th, and now he just went a lap down. Same with Pete Townsend. They got in a good spot with pit strategy, but they got caught out by other cars. Now, 4 lapped cars in the way of separating the top 2. With 14 laps to go at the line. Wario trying to put a lap and Will on Pete Townsend. Bringing the buffer up to 4. Bueller's got to slice and dice through these guys. Wario running a groove up the track to try and get to the 16 as we got a pass for position, albeit a lap down pass. Leonard McCoy just challenging late. 6th, 7th, 8th. Eddie Money's at a quiet day and he's up to 10th. Good for him. Very quiet day for Tim Foster, but this is probably the kind of day he needs. Wee Man, I think, is your points leader, and he's 29th. He just got lapped. Did he get lapped on the outside? No, he's been lapped. Wee Man's trying to unlap himself, and this has huge implications. He is. He goes to the inside of Wario. Wario's only got 10 laps to go, but now, besides Wee Man, if he gets around, then now only Benedict Cumberbatch will be between Wario and a charging second place Ferris Bueller. Wee Man gets his lap back. Bueller in the second, and right behind him is Leonard McCoy in the third. A little bit farther back, Bob Dylan fourth, John Cleese fifth, and almost contact for the 6th spot. Logan Cloud was right on Franklin Clinton's bumper. But at the front, Wario holding on. 7 laps to go. This time by. Both Cumberbatch and Bueller are faster than Wario. Has he used it all up trying to get around lap traffic? 6 to go at the line. Coming off of 4. Is Wario getting a charge? Wario grew his gap, but now is looking to the outside to try and relap Wee Man. This could be fatal. Cumberbatch zeroes in. 5 laps to go. That's 2 miles. Cumberbatch gonna try and sail it in. Meanwhile, what Wario really wants to see is Leonard McCoy try and pass Ferris Bueller. And he's going to move him up the track. 3 to go at the line. Wario is fine as long as the 18 doesn't slip under him. Oh, Wario runs it wide. 18 to the inside as we come to 2 to go. Leonard McCoy needs a pounce now. Oh, that kind of looks like he might be pouncing. White flag is going to be out this time by for Wario. Can Leonard McCoy catch him? He's only a couple car lengths off. Through turns 1 and 2, Wario needs to be perfect and not screw up. Leonard McCoy's going to have to send it going in the corner, does he? He does! They're side by side! It's a drag race to the line! Who's going to win it? Wario, by less than a car length, picks up the win! Woo! That was a finish! That was a finish! There's Wario taking a victory lap. Caution flag is now out for some reason. No, it's not out. Yes, it was out. There was a crash or something. Probably due to at least one car down the... Yeah. Okay. So, that was a thing that happened. before we go any farther, we gotta examine our final results. Wario winning, eking one out over Leonard McCoy. He nearly threw it away. Cleese, Ferris Bueller, and Logan Cloud got sneaked into the top 5. Then Bob Dylan, Franklin Clinton, John Goodman, Ward Gordon, and Eddie Money, your top 10. Patrick Starr, The Fonz, Bob Seger, Sir Topham Hatt, Emerald, Alan Rickman, Tim Foster, Knuckles, the Echidna, Starlight Glimmer, and Marty McFly. Amelia Earhart apparently retired at the end of the race. I have a theory on how that happened. Yes, I'm fairly certain I know what happened. She finished the race, I think would be a lap down, and there were still cars who hadn't finished yet. Yep, that's what it was. A fake DNF for Amelia Earhart. Haywood Banks ends up in last. Amy Schumer, a terrible run after winning last week. It looks like Tim Foster got the last laugh. But who is going to be really laughing? Who gets the Heartbreak Award? Well, the Heartache Award was to Kamikaze Games, who loses 30 spots. Now, your points. Have we been recording this whole time? Good. It's been a decently quick race. 2 is ISM, California, Las Vegas, Homestead. Here we go. New points leader. Logan Cloud leads the points for the first time in his career. Oh, Lord. Tim Foster falls a spot, but he's 36 points down. Well, he was 16 points down on Wee Man. Oh, Lord. There were 21 drivers within the race of the points. Now there's only 19. Couple of people such as Ann Wilson. Amy Schumer falls down almost as quickly as she climbed up 11 spots after Homestead, but fell down 9 after today. So she lost 9 of 11. Well, let's not word it like that. Logan Cloud, 5 laps, none today. None today. Tim Foster with 6 laps led, none today. Eddie Money, Tim Foster have established themselves as top rookies. Mitch Hedberg having a rough start after the beginning of the year. Benedict Cumberbatch, who's looking like a possible star, has just not had any sort of luck. Other movers, interesting. Wario has cracked the top 10 with that win from 21st in points. And the top 25 have all been averaging 100 points a race. Considering that 21st, 21st gives you 100 points. Now, who has led the most laps all year? Alan Rickman, who did not lead a sausage of a lap today. Wario led, I think, Wario led 47 laps today. Yeah, he got 185 points for leading the most laps. Well, tomorrow is the Spam 500. Martinsville, that's where Cup is. Cup's down the road in wherever the heck Ridgeway is. Which is, well, Martinsville. I'm sure you can hop a freight train. You can be a hobo. Just make sure you pick the right train, or you just drive. I don't know. Martinsville's probably not terribly far of a drive. But next weekend is the last great Coliseum, Bristol. Only an hour and 17 minutes of a drive. You can get there in less than an hour and a half if you take US 58. Just takes you right by Martin. Actually takes you, and you take the business route too. Yeah, take US 58. Literally, there's an exit for Martinsville. No freaking kidding. Turn out for Sobo. So, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm rambling. I've been announcer Western Caves. We've been going for 42 minutes. And I need to rest my voice. And that was a nice photo finish. One more lap, and it would have probably been a completely different outcome. But your winner is Wario. Wario now winning in both Chevy and Ford equipment with basically two different teams, even though I think the 22 is basically the 16 from last year. Logan Cloud, though, a solid race, puts him into a season-high 3 top 5s. No other... All of his top 10s have been top 5s, as opposed to the guys with 4 top 5s. I mean, 4 top 10s have only had one single top 5. What am I talking about? Maybe Logan will get a win next week. It eluded him at Bristol as well. And let's remember, the last time Wario won a race, his team won the next 2 races. Starlight Glimmer won at Nazareth. And Logan Cloud got a win at Mid-Ohio. By that logic, he's going to win. He's going to win. His team, at least, will win at Bristol and 3 weeks' time at Talladega. But before we get there, we gotta get to Bristol first, and we gotta get to the weekend first. So, for all of you joining in, thank you for watching the Western Caves Sports Network. I have been Logan Cloud. That was a very solid race. No bias. That was a solid race. I will see, hopefully, until we meet again. Farewell. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.